Kate is a great example. Like from the beginning of Last Recruits to now, like Kate has leveled up her content, her setup in general. Like it's growth.
If I had to pick a good example for anybody, it would be Kate.
Yeah, absolutely. Kate is another person that I've gotten really close with through the whole thing, and you know, I've given her stripes more times than I can count of how just evolved she has become as a person and as a creator. The confidence in herself is multiplied 10 times over, and she's really just completely unfamiliar to who she was entering the competition last year. It's a completely new Kate, and that's awesome to see.
Yeah.
I thought of a bunch of different ways that I could make this some really cool cinematic type of video, but at the end of the day, I am not a big flashy creator. I am very laid back, very calm for the most part. So the right way to represent myself is to just do what I do best and sit here and talk to you guys. So I started streaming and content creation in September 2022. When people ask me what got me started, I usually say that my husband, he pushed me to be this creator and to stream since I was already playing video games. He wanted me to do something outside of just being a stay-at-home mom. So what I don't usually mention is the fact that the summer leading up to this was one of the hardest summers that we have ever had. In June, my husband lost his childhood best friend to a motorcycle accident. And then in the beginning of August, I lost my great aunt to a battle with breast cancer, and following shortly after, my childhood best friend to suicide. Dealing with those losses and learning how to grieve as a parent to a child who didn't understand the concept of death, it was incredibly hard, and I lost a lot of who I was in that summer. When my son would go to sleep, I would find myself mindlessly playing these video games in attempt to escape the reality that was. And I stopped taking care of myself. I stopped being me. Yes, my husband motivating me and pushing me to stream is the biggest thing. But under the surface, I have realized that he just wanted me to find myself again. And for that, I am forever grateful. To start, I was only streaming off of my PlayStation. I did not know until about a month in that I could use the PlayStation VR camera. You know, eventually I got that set up and worked from there. And I bounced from room to room with no stationary setup. I just needed my PlayStation, a screen, and a sheet behind me. I played a lot of story-based games. GTA 5, Stranded Deep, God of War, The Forest, and I'd throw in some Fortnite as well. I also had attempted to brand myself more with like the y2Kate aesthetic, but I learned very quickly that that wasn't me. When it comes to posting clips and networking, I didn't. Unless I knew the exact time stamp that I wanted a clip from to post somewhere, I didn't feel the need to go back into my VODs and clip anything. I didn't feel like my content was clip worthy, so I just didn't. And networking, I wasn't sure the right way to go about it. I had seen many streamers and content creators be like, hey, don't just go into other people's streams and be like, oh, I'm streaming, or I'm a streamer, or anything like that. So I didn't. But I didn't know how to go about networking myself in the right way. Eventually, I made an Instagram account and was posting a handful of clips here and there, mostly selfies of like, hey, this is what I'm doing this week. And I even started trying to do like subathon incentive style things to try to draw attention to my channel, and it was fun. My husband got to smush a whipped cream pie in my face. I dressed up like Wednesday Addams. It didn't perform as well as I was hoping it would at the time. In starting my content creation journey, I only really had like immediate support, like my husband and my sister, because anybody outside of that didn't fully grasp the concept of streaming. A lot of people in my family considered gaming to just be a waste of my time, and they didn't grasp the concept of, okay, so people watch you play video games? So I didn't really share this world outside of, oh yeah, I have games tonight. I did find myself digging up a nice little burnout hole. I was streaming twice a day because my son was still taking naps at this point. And so I would stream while he napped, and then I streamed after bedtime. And it slowly turned into drilling myself back into that mindlessness gaming. And the only difference this time was that somebody was probably on the other side of their screen watching, which made streaming less enjoyable. My energy was gone, and it got to the point where I didn't want to keep streaming, but I knew that I had love for streaming, so I knew I needed to work around that. So I took a handful of breaks and chalked it up to, oh, I'm just rearranging my game room, which oftentimes was true. However, it did not take me 2 to 3 weeks to do so. I took this time to focus on calming down and, setting myself straight and figuring out what exactly I wanted to do and where I wanted to take my content creation. Eventually, I found creators that I really clicked with and I just liked hanging out in their streams and watching their videos. And eventually it got to the point where they had asked whether I was streaming or not, and I told them I was, but I wasn't trying to self-promote, and they were kind enough to give me a list of advice and different tricks and tips, and hey, I watched this tutorial video to set this up, and just providing any information possible to help aid in beginning a content creation career or bettering it in general. I took all of that information and I stored it in the back of my brain, because at that time I was still only on a PlayStation. I didn't have a laptop, I didn't have anything else, just the PlayStation. I did upgrade to a PC, and with that I knew that I could do overlays and sound alerts and save the VODs and record other things and edit things, but I didn't really know how to do all of that until about Recruits 2023. So at this point, anything that I was posting was just, yep, here's the 30-second clip that Twitch generated for me once I clicked that button. Here you go. But during Recruits 2023, I made a world full of friends. They all wanted to see me grow and succeed. Everybody was sharing different information and their tips and tricks that I had never heard of before, so I was, putting that back in my files for something to utilize eventually. My community built stronger, and I gained a lot more confidence within myself to create. I went from playing Stardew Valley for nearly 2 months straight with no real excitement to it, to broadening my horizons and playing party-style games. We got Party Animals, Pummel Party, Fortnite, in more than just solos, Outlast Trials, just so many games. And I found that I had a lot more fun working with others and playing games with others than I did making content alone. And I may not have the best grip on consistency, but I do have the drive to keep pushing through and get there. And I have also since learned that networking is more than just going into other people's stream and hoping that somebody notices my name. I see it more as making friendships and actual connections versus networking. If I make a connection with a content creator and they just so happen to share their community with me, that is fantastic, or vice versa. But if not, that's okay too. I can grow just being me. In just a matter of months, I went from getting clips like this to being able to post content more like this.
Oh,
Hell yeah,
I have
Kate.
a shield now. Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Danny, get him, Danny! Oh, no.
It's weird and difficult explaining word for word how I grew and what I did to get to where I am. But I also feel like I'm a really well put together example of what it means to open your mind and grow as a creator. Streaming itself has given me a confidence that I never knew existed, and within the last 6, 7, 8 months, it has grown exponentially. This community, this world has given me some type of outlet at the end of the day that helps me understand that I am more than just a stay-at-home mom. While I do love being a stay-at-home mom with all of my heart, sometimes I need that little reminder that I am more than just that. From self-proclaimed cozy streamer playing video games hours on end in a wooden rocking chair, to a variety streamer who ultimately just loves chaos and comfy chairs. Anything is truly possible.